Okie dokie, I think we're all live. I can now see you beauties. And looks like Chris has stolen Tom's iPhone. No. Ah, there he is. Right, let's see the chat box. Cool. Zoom, you can all hear and see me, which is good. I'm going to make it so you can unmute yourselves if you wish. And we are on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Cool. Right, let's get going. Today, we are going to talk about your successes. There's a lot of doom and gloom in the world, etc. We always hear the bad stuff, and we never really hear the good stuff anymore. And especially being a small business owner, sometimes when we have a little win in our lives, we feel embarrassed or shy, or and like we feel we can't talk to anyone. And I've had this in the past where, you know, I may have had a mini win in the business, and I didn't really have many people to share it with, because if you shared it with normal people, they would just think you're bragging or showing off or trying to put them down or make them feel bad. And it's not the case at all. And so I've got a good friend who I've been friends with for years now, and she's done a whole bunch of different businesses over the last 10 years or so, and she's now finally found her thing, which is absolutely great. And we sat down probably a year ago, and I got a piece of paper out. I started doodling things. Oh, you should do this, 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 and this. And guess what? She actually did it. She went off and did exactly what we wrote down. And the other day, she had her first 10 grand day. Now, for a brand new business, which cost nothing to set up, it was like a coaching type business. She set it up, and she did a proper launch campaign, and she got she had a 10 grand day, and she had no one to tell. She was like, Simon, I can't put this anywhere, but I just made 10 grand today. And it was amazing. And I was like, yes, fuck yeah. And so today I want to do as little talking as possible. And I want you guys to share any hurdles which then led to successes. It's your time to shine, brag away. Come on. Those on Zoom, who fancies sharing a little win with us? Come on. Where's Rachel? Rachel wanted more talking yesterday. No? Come on. Someone on Zoom here must want to unmute themselves. Oh, is it Tom? Hey,
hello,
Chris and Tom.
Yeah, hello everyone. So in terms of business successes, we've been running our building firm for probably 7-8 years, something like that now. And it's been going well. We've always had work. It's grown naturally, sort of thing, which is really good. We're looking at starting up sort of new side hustles and stuff now to progress even further. And that sort of be the business side of it. I've gone on to I'm a ski instructor as well, because that's always a passion of mine. I was always racing from a young boy and stuff, and I was always teaching from a young age in Britain on dry slopes. So last year, or the year before, it would have been the year before now, COVID, before, I went on to do my BASI courses so that I can teach abroad now. I'm part of the British Association of Snow Sport Instructors, which was, brilliant. It's been a really good journey, really enjoying it, and we'll continue to push that on further as well.
Amazing. So you can even teach in France?
France, I can. I need to do what's called the Euro test. So I don't think the French like the British teaching out there much. So
no, they don't.
So I still need to do my Euro test, which I will. I'm just waiting for everything to sort of to become financially viable again. They start running all the courses. So and then I'll teach in France. But at the moment, I'm mainly teaching in Switzerland and in England on the dry slopes.
Nice. And so what's the plan with that? Are you aiming to live out there permanently, or just do it in the seasons and then come back and build, or what?
Yeah. So ultimately, with the skiing side of it, my wife is a cook as well. So my wife's a cook, and I obviously love skiing. So the plan would be to get a chalet. We haven't decided where yet, but get a chalet once I've got my full qualifications, and I could then be a self-employed instructor essentially, and we could sort of run holidays.
Amazing. So wait, in fact, I want to be your first customer, mate, because I've got a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. One's almost 5, and they obviously have never skied before, but we have this cool image of them being the little starfish. You know, you see the kids on the slopes and they look like little starfish. And Ellie, my wife, can't ski. And we were actually thinking, this is really weird. We were thinking, like, the moment we can go abroad, find a chalet somewhere, you know, a nice chalet, and then just have a 2-week skiing holiday and get, you know, an instructor or whatever. But she was really worried about having a group skiing thing because she didn't want to lose the kids. You know, if she fell over and the kids carried on skiing down, she would like shit herself. But because she doesn't want to lose. Yeah. But if she had like a ski instructor and it was just those 3, that would be epic. Yeah. What's the time frame, mate?
So I'd get to be self-employed with it. That would be I'd need to get my 4th qualification. So that would probably be. I'm on my 2nd one at the moment, so I can teach under a ski school. So to do it privately, you're probably looking a couple of years, I'd say, when things start to open up. I'd need a season to get my 3rd and a season to get my 4th. I'd say that'd be realistic. Yeah. So that's where I'm headed.
That's good. In fact, my youngest will be a good age to start skiing then. So let's stay in touch, mate. I want to do this.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet. Nice. Awesome. Great success story. Anyone else here? Cheers, Tom.
That's right.
Anyone else here have a little win they want to share? I like hearing wins. It's good. This is your time to share. Come on. As business owners, we can't really talk about this stuff to anyone because people really do think, oh, he's just showing off or whatever. We got some comments on Facebook here. So what do they say? So we had Gary Davies. Last year I bought a £100 ride-on mower for the foot golf. Used it and abused it all year and just sold it for £500. Bloody hell. That's good. That's really good ROI. And Gary, how's the foot golf biz doing now that things are opening up? Have you been flooded? And whilst waiting for Gary, because there is a delay on Facebook, Pete Bennett just signed a licensing deal for my YouTube content with a global TV network. Holy shit, Pete. Can you elaborate? Even better, could you jump onto the Zoom chat and share it? That's really interesting. The main reason being is that there's like 1,000,001, YouTubers out there, and there's so much content. And so how you've managed to get a licensing deal with your content, that's amazing. I have no idea what you're talking about I'm going to quickly Google you. YouTube you. That'll be interesting. In fact, it would be good to have you on the Zoom chat, just, to share how that happened anyway, because Pete Bennett. So Pete, if you go on because I've got my weird phone thing out here, I can't sort of exit out of this. If you go to my Facebook profile and look at my post, my status update from, I think, 11:30 this morning, I put the Zoom link on there. That would be awesome. Maybe I can do it on my phone. 1 second. Here we go. Control C. And then I'm putting in this comment. Hopefully it comes up. Okay, I think I've just put the link. Yay, there it is. Hopefully you can see that. I'll do it as a reply to you as well. The main reason being that there's like 1,000,001. Shush, Simon. 1 sec. Cool. Right. We'll wait to see you. What else? Other questions? We got some people. Hey, there you go. You're coming on board. Right. Gary David, we'll try and jump on the Zoom at the course now. It's open yet, but it will be mid-May. Okay, fair one. Right. So I'm not sure. I have an Amazon business for almost 5 years now, selling products on Amazon. The plan is to turn the business into hands-free within 2 to 3 years. That's good that you've been going for 5 years. It's actually quite rare to see Amazon businesses lasting, a long, long time, if that makes sense. So, yeah, nice one. What are you selling on Amazon? I've got a friend that, whilst I'm waiting for the reply, I've got a friend that sells on Amazon. He used to do 7-figure revenue, but with no profit. And he said it's like one of the toughest businesses he's done because he was, selling, I think between 1 and 2 million a year on Amazon, but the margins were just so damn low. And then every time he got a really good thing going, the Chinese just copied it and just destroyed it. But yeah, so the easiest business ever. I can share a little. Yeah, please. But we have Pete here first. So go for it, Pete. Who are you and how the hell did you get yeah, share with everyone who you are and what is this TV licensing deal thing?
Oh, is it working? Can you hear me?
Yeah, visual, loud and clear.
Should be a bit better. Should be a bit better at this, shouldn't I? Pretty much spend my life on Zoom, I suspect, like most people nowadays. Yeah, it's nothing that spectacular, and I don't really like doing the brag thing, but I've had a YouTube channel or many YouTube channels, but the one that I got the licensing deal with is for kids nursery rhymes. So Wheels on the Bus and all that kind of stuff, animated nursery rhymes. And the problem is YouTube. I mean, it's probably more than 100 million views or so, but YouTube changed the law back in January of last year that hit revenues on kids channels. So many of the people in the industry have had their revenues decimated. Mine went down by 90%. So in order to compensate for loss of YouTube revenues and put more fuel in the tank to create more content, everybody's kind of been scrambling to look for other outlets. And I got approached actually by a network called Kidoodle.tv. Great name, isn't it? And they want to license the content. But the great thing about YouTube is once you become a fairly big channel, then people come to you. So it reverses the power. You don't need to go out and hustle. You just sit and wait for opportunities. One of my friends in the States sold his channel at Christmas for $80 million. And my friends a couple of years ago before that sold theirs for, I don't know the sum, but more money than you can reasonably spend in a lifetime if you try hard, and they try hard.
$80 million he sold his YouTube channel for.
Yeah.
How many subscribers did he have?
I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but
Holy
quite a few. But here's the thing, subscribers don't matter. Everybody thinks YouTube's all about subscribers. It really doesn't matter. It's about the views.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very misunderstood, which is great because there's loads of opportunities.
Yeah. So is this your main business, or like what is your main biz?
Yeah, I mean, I've built and sold a couple of companies, so I kind of semi-retired. But now I do YouTube. I've got lots of channels, and I do YouTube consultancy as well. If it's interesting projects, but it's just great. YouTube is amazing. I just don't know why everybody is not on YouTube.
I'm not on it yet. Like I'm not doing any YouTube marketing at the moment, and it's been on my to-do list for too long. In fact, you've just prodded me up the arse. I'm gonna do it. I need to sort my shit out.
Anyway,
yeah.
that's my story. And I don't think
what's your main channel? How can we find it? I want to find it.
Well, I don't have a personal. Well, I've got a personal channel, but I don't really use that because you can't sell things with your face on. So the way that I make money, always have with any type of business, is build it and sell it. And the one thing that you can't do is sell your face. You can rent it out perhaps or do a licensing deal, but the moment that you start pushing up the daisies, the revenues stop. so everything that I've ever done has been to build it and sell it and not put my face on it. So if you look for YouTube/Pete, I think it's Pete Bennett UK. I don't even know the name of the channel off the top of my head. I use that for teaching.
Yeah.
But my nursery rhyme channel, if you want to have a look at it, is Huggy Bobo.
Huggy Bobo.
Yeah.
One sec. HUGGYBOBO.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
I've got a number of other channels. There's a really good opportunity at the moment, by the way, for people to do. If you've heard of Shorts, YouTube Shorts, there's an incredible opportunity to beat really big YouTubers in the search rankings, because since 2005, YouTube has been telling us to make long videos in landscape format. Because TikTok is now spanking YouTube, they've suddenly changed now and they're saying, right, we want short videos in portrait format. Hardly anyone's doing them. So I started a new channel about giving relationship advice, because as someone who's recently divorced, I'm in a really good position to give relationship advice. Don't get married would be anyway. You want to keep your fortune, but
is your training marriage, mate? You're just getting the training one out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
But right now, if I could give everybody on the call advice, apart from don't get married, is start doing YouTube Shorts, because you can do them on your phone. It takes less than 60 seconds. And honestly, you can get amazing traction against channels that have been established for, years.
Interesting. Oh, 15 seconds or less?
No, 60 seconds or less, sorry. I would say try and aim for 45 seconds is the sweet spot.
Okay.
The channel, I mean, I've got Shorts channels, but I don't really want to show them, because if people subscribe who are not likely to be interested in the content long term, damage your channel. So, most people set a channel up and then get the mom and the girlfriend and everybody to subscribe, and that just kills the channel. Shouldn't do that.
Nice. So I'm looking at Huggy Bobo right now. I don't know if I'm sharing my screen, so hopefully some of you can see it. So you're animating normal kids' nursery rhymes. Do you have a team of animators like in the Philippines or something, or in the UK, or what?
I get the music done by a couple in Singapore who I've found on Fiverr. Lovely couple. And then I've got an animation studio that I outsource a lot of the work to in Armenia.
Nice.
But the reason I'm excited is because of YouTube slashing the revenues. It's been very difficult to make enough money to produce new content, because, as you can probably appreciate, doing these sort of things is not cheap.
No, it's not.
So signing the TV deal means that they'll pay to produce more content. And at the end of the day, the reason I do this is I just love producing the content for the kids.
Nice. And I like how you've got it for like 7 hours and 51 minutes, like long videos.
Yeah. If I hear Wheels on the Bus one more time, I'm going to scream. Anyone with kids will know that.
Yeah. That's amazing. God, there's so much. See, this is the awesome thing about business. Like you see people on YouTube say, hey, do this business. But like any business model works pretty much. It's just all about execution. And you could say, right, everyone set up a YouTube business doing, what Huggy Bobo is doing, etc. And 100 people do it, but they'll do it really badly. So execution is so important. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. And yeah, Pete, it seems like you're absolutely beasting it, mate. I love it. And I've just found your YouTube growth tips. In fact, I'm just going to put this on the screen so people can see. Pete Bennett's YouTube growth tips, no nonsense, practical, actionable tips to help grow your channel. New videos weekly.
But you can see I only have 340 subscribers there, and I don't care, because that's not what's important.
I am a new subscriber, and I will be binge watching you, mate. So awesome, nice one. Thank you. That was a really good share. Thank you so much for coming on to the Zoom.
You're very welcome.
Jamie's just asked, is it hard to start from scratch on YouTube?
It is. Yeah. Well, if all you need is a smartphone, and it doesn't even need to be that smart. Most of mine's done on an iPhone 5. The stuff that I've done, outside, so on some of the sort of outside broadcast stuff. So no, it's dead easy. The hardest thing is pressing record, and it's nothing to do with the technology. It's having the confidence to do it and keep doing it. It's a bit like the gym. Most people give up way too early before they see the results because it feels like you're shouting into the void, doesn't it? It's a long-term project.
Nice. Amazing.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
Pete. We'll no doubt be in touch.
All right. All the best, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Toodles.
Cheers. Bye for now.
Right, let's scroll up this chat. Okay, so we got a new. I saw that you jumped on. Are you still here, mate? I saw your. Oh, there you are. Do you want to share about your Amazon biz?
Hi, actually my name is Arno Alexander.
Anu, I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. Literally, Simon, I've been listening to your videos for about a month, and I drained all my internet on them. That's your fault. About 80% of them have been listened through, so all of them, yeah. And yesterday, I'm just like, oh, no internet. So a little bit about my story. So my name is Alexander. So normally when I ask questions, you refer to Alexander.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, you're
Yes.
Alexander. I get it now.
So that's my wife's phone. So that's wrong name.
Ah, yes.
Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah. You've been on like every day. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm really big fan of you, really, and got so many questions. So I'll ask them. So we just joined WAP, by the way, with my wife together. So we're for trials right now, but definitely we're gonna buy the full course, because this is the way to repay you for whatever you're doing for us, because you did an amazing job in educating us. First time I met you was 2 years ago, and the crypto, since that, my portfolio went down like 95%. Literally from like 7,500, I had 500 something pounds, and I just ignore it.
Yeah.
I decided, okay, I'm not gonna look at this because it's really deep. I mean, I was in deep shit, and now it's really good, looking well, and I've topped it up. So, okay, but let's talk about the story. So we came to this country about 7-8 years ago with literally 2 suitcases and nothing else, and lots of debts. And obviously, as you start a new life, you need to start somewhere. So guess what? Factory is the way. So I thought slavery was over about 100 years ago, but no, it's still going on in England. So yeah, it's literally a slavery where I had to put the boxes on the pallets. And every box I put, I said, I'm not going to be here forever. I will get out of here because, this is not me, stacking boxes on the pallets. And for about 1.5 years, I worked there. And I've never worked physically before because, it was a really hard start for me. Then a good company hired me, and for 3 years, I've been training, improving my English, improving the lifestyle, how to be in the UK, etc. And I was studying other businesses. And literally about a month or 2 before I got fired, I was introduced to Amazon business. And by the time when my boss called me and said, you know what, the company's closing down, we have to all go away, go home. I had my first sale. I was so excited. So next day, when everybody gathered together, in the office, really sad because it was like a month before Christmas, and everybody was sad because they were sacked. And I was the happiest man ever, because by the end of the day, I had £1,000 of sales. I was like, wow,
What?
this actually works. Yeah, I was drop shipping, which is not the best thing, but
what were you selling?
At that time, it was really good. Yeah, and the margin was not good. So I was improving slowly by slowly. I put the drop shipping away, and you won't believe it, but literally, this is the easiest business on the planet. So what I do right now, I'm outside, I don't know where I'm at right now, outside of a shop. So I'm literally going from shop to shop, going to the sale department, the sale shelves, searching for good products which are new but reduced. I'm buying them, bringing them home. My wife is right now in the warehouse. She's packing them. We're sending them Amazon with a markup at least 100%. So sometimes 200, 300, 400%, depending on the product. I think my most expensive toy I ever sold was £1,200 Lego, like the big spaceship, which I bought in London for like £650. Obviously, Amazon took his part, took their part, and shipping, etc. But I think I made something like, I don't know, £300-400 just from one toy, and etc. So this is what is going on. For the first year, we did a turnover of round about like 400,000-500,000 turnover. When we first met with our accountant, he said, "What is going on? Where is your expenses?" He said, "You're making such a big profit. You need to make expenses. Otherwise, you're going to be paying a lot to the HMRC." So literally, that's the business from shop to Amazon. And I have to thank everybody who is buying from Amazon, because you're obviously buying my stuff,
Wait, just let me get this correct. So in that year, you've done, say, 400, 500K in revenue, and that's all from physically going to the shops, looking for the sweet deals, literally clearing the shelf.
Yeah.
And then Anu, your wife, is then packaging it up at home, etc., and then
Yes.
sending it off.
Exactly, yes.
How many units is that? Like to do
we sell a year about 50,000 units. Obviously, we started from home, right? So now we have a warehouse, we have a van, we have expenses, etc. So, and the turnover went up a little bit. So we're still aiming at 1 million, but we basically reached the capacity of our, forehand.
Yeah.
And I think maximum we can do is about 750 to 950,000 pounds turnover. But as I said before, right? So we are aiming for the hands-free business with private label. I'm not sure what other Amazon sellers are doing. Obviously, somebody's doing the wrong thing, because we're doing the right thing, because we got money in the pocket. And it's not only about the selling products and getting profit and spending. No, about 1, maybe 2 years ago, I reminded myself again the book The Richest Man in Babylon. Brilliant book. This is like business Bible, that you need to study, and try to listen it to or read it every year to remind myself what you need to do. So since that time, we literally started the most simple and I wouldn't say stupid, but simple and crazy thing. Every time when we had a payout, we put a little bit to ourselves. We paid a little bit to ourselves. The business is going the same way. Plus, we have everything that we save is in our bank account, which is amazing.
Nice.
That thing works. Plus, we have a lot more money in crypto. I mean, not lots, but 5 figures. Plus, the business. And we started with zero money. For the foreigner to start the business in this country, it's really hard. So when we started here, I said, I have no money, but I have a credit card. I wouldn't recommend to start with a credit card, but it worked for me. So I literally went to the shop, spend it on the product, bring it home. In about 40 to 45 days, all the money came back to my credit card. So I paid it off.
Nice.
And I rinse and repeat. So the best case scenario, you can double your money within 3 months if you have no expenses and before taxes. That's how I work.
And what's your net profit margin? So on, let's say, 500K revenue, what would be the profit on that? Because how much does Amazon take as well?
We have zero profit because we're former accountants. So everything possible, we do as much as possible.
Yeah, you reinvest.
To the reinvesting and to our expenses. But I would say we make at least 10%, at least.
No, it's okay.
So the plan is to do our private label, which we already launched 4 private labels. 2 of them are not very successful, but 2 are okay. So we are relaunching it again, and we're going to America as well, because the American market is a lot bigger. We used to sell in Europe, but now with Brexit, it's game over because of the all this. Amazon used to bring our products to Europe, and we sold them like even higher in Europe than we sell it in the UK, which is amazing. But right now, what the plan is to manufacture 5 to 10 products of our own brand, start selling it, and when it goes hands-free, automatically sell the business.
Yeah.
With probably 5 to 10, maybe 15 times of the profit, which should be about 200,000. So we're aiming 1 to 2 million.
Nice. Awesome
but that's
story,
be
mate.
Like 2, 3, 4 years from now on.
That's awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
So everybody who's dating about Amazon, it's working, really working.
Nice.
And it's for simple people like you and me, you know, whoever had get sacked from their job, like go and try it. It really works. The Amazon is tightening their balls right now. It's really hard to start, maybe harder than 5 years ago, but it still works. It's working really good.
Amazing. As Teddy TV says here, retail arbitrage. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So
that's the name of that.
Thanks, mate. We have Gaz, who I can see on the phone with Gary Davies. Are you at your foot course golf now?
Yeah, hey mate, how you doing? All right?
Hey, yeah, good to see you, mate.
Stuff. Yeah, I'm up here now. It's literally just caught me at the tail end of a massive rain shower. So yeah, I'm not open at the minute, which is a bit of a pain. I'll quickly show you around, and then you'll get a flavour for it all. So I took on this land 2.5 years ago, and it looked exactly like, you can see it there, that field there.
Yeah.
So basically, there's 11 acres just outside Lyme Regis that's got a covenant on it, and I found out that the covenant is that it has to be used for leisure and recreation purposes. And historically, there was going to be the football club to come up here and stuff, and they just couldn't get planning on it. But the covenant remains now for another 960 years or something. So I tapped to the council and said, I've got a bit of an idea. And the idea came by because I took my eldest boy to go and play foot golf at another course about half hour from here, and he loved it. And I said, oh, mate, would you like Daddy to set up a foot golf course? He said, yeah, Dad, go for it. So I was like, okay, well, let's give it a go. So this is it really, right behind me. So we got, and it already had this building, but pretty much kind of dilapidated. So I've kind of just given it a lick of paint and made it look as good as I can do. It's all off grid, so there's no electricity, there's no running water. The rent is crazy cheap. It's only £1,200 a year.
For how many acres?
It's about 5 acres.
For £1,200 a year.
Yeah, and then that's the kind of the views and stuff, and it's a really cool place. I mean, Lyme Regis as an area, they get about, they reckon it's about between 1 and 1.3 million visitors a year. It's a cracking little location. There's lots of grey pound. There's lots of holiday spend and stuff down here as well. So my idea was to set up something that is cheap and accessible for people, and that gives good value. And ultimately as well, I wanted to create a business that got me off the tools. I personally had a big fat anxiety wobble about, I don't know, 2 years ago, and it's still it's underlying still. And a lot of that was because I fell out of love with the job I was doing. I was doing like garden studios and log cabins, and it just got really cutthroat. I was importing stuff from Estonia. The manufacturer changed their kind of route to market, which all of a sudden it was all about margin erosion, and then there was just nothing left in it for me come the end. So I was working like a dog for other people, and it got to the point I got fed up of working for clients with really unrealistic expectations, stupidly small budgets. It was seasonal, it was weather dependent and stuff. So I thought, right, I'd got to make a change. So now the foot golf was kind of kicked in, and it's doing its thing really. So the first year setting up and overheads was about 9.5 grand, and it generated 15.5. Second year, pretty much overheads were covered, and it generated just under 21 grand. This year again, all costs are sorted, there's money in the pot, and we go again. And hopefully come the end of this season, there should be 40 to 50k sat there, which will enable me to kind of do the next thing, think a bit smarter. Obviously join the WAP, so I need to get my head into that once I've created a bit of free time. Woo-hoo. And kind of create that step change and prove to my boys that really from nothing you can start something as long as you just put a little bit of effort in. I'm quite fortunate, both my boys now, eldest is nearly 10, youngest is nearly 6. They're into it. The eldest will be cutting the grass for me. The youngest is keen to set up all the tuck shop every day. They understand what Daddy does for a living, which I never understood what my old man did for a living. But they can kind of see me graft and stuff, and they want to be part of it. So it's cool. And importantly for me, I've come away from that feeling of just having a profitable job. I now don't have that direct exchange in time for money. And I got my pride and my passion back, which I kind of lost through my other business. So yeah, it's all right, but it's always a journey, isn't it? Always takes time.
This is amazing. This is so cool on many different levels, but I think the best part of this whole story, not the profit, not all that, is the fact that your kids have seen firsthand that you can build a business from scratch with very little money.
Yeah.
The fact that you've created that, you've literally just plucked that business out of thin air, and your kids have seen you go, and so that's going to be an invaluable lesson to them. Like,
and I think for me as well, the hardest bit for me as well was trying to do it when I had this anxiety. They saw me. I wasn't really bad. Yeah, I didn't have to take medication and whatever else. I sorted my own head out by literally getting rid of the shit. I've been a kind of a solopreneur for the last 8-9 years, and I've listened and watched so many high profile people to the point where I think they were a big catalyst of my mind going into the wrong place. So I really honed it down. So I continuously follow all of your content, and I first kind of met you on a crypto course however many years back, and I was never in the right place to make the most of it, and I kind of knew that, but I knew that there was some kind of interest there, and the way you were talking, I thought, actually, do you know what, you kind of approach it quite differently to many others out there, and I really warmed to that. So that's why I've kind of followed and will continue to follow your journey as well, and that kind of gave me the confidence to know that, do you know what, you can do it. It's going to take a little bit of time, but importantly, just get rid of the shit. Get rid of everything that is weighing you down. Get rid of everything that you don't like or enjoy, and find your passion and purpose again. And now leading from that, I turned 40 this October coming, and I've just said to my boys and my wife and made an announcement. I'm going to run 40 miles on my 40th birthday to raise money for a mental health charity. Just because it's kind of in sync with what I'm doing business-wise as well, where even if your back's up against it, just dig deep and just do it. Because if you want to do it, you'll do it. You just got to make sure you've got the right people around you at the time as well. But yeah, it's all cool. Living the dream.
This is awesome. Mate, hats off to you. That is...
Thank you, mate. But you've played a big part of it, and I really appreciate your input. I mean, as you know, I'm not in contact with you. But yeah, you feel like a familiar face and a familiar friend all the time. Like when we come onto these type of sessions, and it goes a long way. And I'm sure I speak on behalf of many people that's with that as well.
Awesome, man. We need, I mean, do you mind if? How can I think? Yeah, I'll message you. I'm just trying to think that this is such a good story. I think your story is more like would really help a lot of people. I think, especially with kids. I think that's. Yeah, because I know of other parents who have been umming and ahhing about, setting up a business, etc. And I think if they heard literally the last, the last 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever, it would really help people, get rid of that anxiety. And that anxiety is crippling, isn't it? I've had it before.
Mate, do you know what? I was so stupid and naive, and I guess my naivety has always got me into various different situations and troubles. And my old man always says, you'll only ever learn from your mistakes. And yeah, you make them regularly. And I always used to fear failure, but now I actually understand that it's a really good thing. You don't go to the gym and push weights to the point that you feel comfortable. You need to feel that. You need to feel uncomfortable. But yeah, for me, it was always understanding the risk reward. But sometimes I would overanalyze. I'd just procrastinate too long and just would never do it. And then sometimes you get to the point and you think, fuck it, what am I waiting for? Just do it. Worry about the rest of it later on. And that's all I've kind of done, really. But I went self-employed when my youngest was 6 months old. I had what I thought was a reasonable mortgage at the time. Then we decided to extend the house. I'm not a builder, but I started building it myself. Then we got married as well, and did everything about that. It was just everything happened in one hit. And I've kind of felt that all of my 30s was given to anything and everything but myself. And I think the important part in business as well is you just have to create enough time for yourself. It's too easy to put everybody first. And for me, I now realize I don't think it was ever about the money, and it still really isn't, because I have this kind of heightened level of gratitude now where my desire for more is so much less, but my appreciation for less is so much more. And I remind myself on that on a daily basis. And it just means that I don't need the flashy stuff. I don't need the faster car, the bigger house. And I'm cool with that, because that's not my driving force. My driving force is my boys. I want to inspire them. I want to motivate them. And I want them to know that whatever they achieve academically, and they're not going to be top flyers in academic sense at all, but that doesn't dictate actually where you can go in life by any means. It's all about attitude, and it's all about kind of just your emotion that you can put into something. So yeah, I just want to support them on that level, really.
Mate, your new nickname is the Inspirational Dad. That should be your YouTube Shorts YouTube channel.
Yeah, right. But you know what? It's interesting because I've gone through my really distorted career. I've done loads of weird and wonderful things. There's no correlation with anything that I've ever done, and I've never really kind of thought I've had much of a story or much to share. But it's probably because I've never told too many people about it. Maybe for the fear of being judged, maybe because I've always been a people pleaser, and then the one person you don't please is yourself. But to now be able to share it and to hear your kind comments and stuff, it's goes a long way. So yeah, I really appreciate that as well.
Awesome, mate. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, no, let me give it up to somebody else now. But no, I appreciate all your time as well. Yeah. We'll chat again soon. Yeah.
Awesome. I've been doing these daily. Yeah, cheers, mate. This is nuts. I've been doing these daily live chats every single workday from I think 1st of February onwards now, and this is my favorite session so far by a country mile. We need to do this more. So Rachel, if you're still here, your suggestion yesterday, thanks for the prod in the face, is a good suggestion. We're going to be doing this a lot more. So who's next? So and by the way, Rosie Atherton, thank you so much for your lovely kind words on Facebook. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Right, let's focus on the Zoom again. If you're watching this on Facebook Live or YouTube, just get onto the Zoom. I've posted the link of my Zoom. It's much better. And I'm aware that there's sound issues on Facebook Live, but it's clear on Zoom. Right, so Intelligent Eating, Adam, sweet. My content amplifier is actually working well, surprisingly profitable. Just spotting opportunities from seeing problems with people's content. Mate, do you have your mic? I think because we were chatting about this. Like, share your content amplifier new biz.
I do. Can you? I'm in the car, so I
loud and clear.
Obviously pulled over with the keys out. Obviously, yeah. So it was just so it was an idea. So many people have started to move online. Over the last 12 months, whatever. Yeah. And there's so many people out there, like business coaches, etc., who are like, you need to do video, which I think we probably all agree that video is probably a good thing. And putting content out there is great. But what I started to see was people who were really extraordinarily talented, but would put out a 30-minute video. And 90% of the content in that video was just not relevant. It just really wasn't relevant. So I would just message somebody, and I was like, hey, I watched your 30-minute video, and I'll be really honest, like 29 minutes of it were really boring. Please don't take this as rude, but I'm interested. I like what you do, but most of it was just uninteresting. And they were like, okay, what do you think, like, how could I make that better? And I was like, I have an idea. I can edit video. So I was like, I'll tell you what, maybe we can take your 30-minute video and just chop it up into maybe 20 videos, whatever. And then we can start using that, and you can then use it for whatever purpose. And this was the same with people's testimonial videos as well. You have videos, for example, that are like student spotlights. Some of them about half an hour long. I think yours are probably a bit of an exception because of the nature of what you do with the realistic trader. People will watch it in detail and will understand it. But like all conversations, the vast majority of it, including this one I'm having right now, is waffle. It really is. And so what I'm doing is going, why not let's focus on the actual signal and get rid of the noise? And as we are just more and more, I suppose we're just, what's the right term? You'll have a better term for it than me. But we're just so distracted by so much content right now. You just want to know exactly what something does, what it costs, and just right now, and how do you take action on it straight away? So I've just started doing this and just seeing other people's content online from wherever, from LinkedIn or on Facebook or whatever. They'll post this 10-minute video, and I just message them and say, hey, watch this. Really good. Here's what I can do for you. And boom. And it's just gone from something which was like, I started doing a couple. So now I've got I'm doing about, I've only been in the 4th month of doing it, but I've got 10 a month that I'm doing, 10 clients now of doing this. And
nice.
It's good but it's good for me that it makes me money. But what's really good is it's making people money as well. they're like, shit, like these testimonials I had never actually did anything before. Now they're like, it's actually generating me loads of inquiries. I'm like, cool, that's amazing. So it's just, yeah, it's just that. But it's not a new idea. It's just helping people actually understand that maybe their content is not great. And in a way, actually possibly taking this sounds maybe a bit controversial, but maybe taking the ego out of sometimes people post testimonials because it makes them feel good about themselves. And I'm like, the testimonial is not for you. It's for somebody who stumbles across your content to help them decide if they're going to buy or not. That's what it's for. Nothing else. Yeah, and maybe that's a hard pill to swallow for some people just starting out, but it's reality. It's super useful. So I just got better at video editing skills over time, and now I can sort of kick out on different platforms. And as that chap Pete said, things like YouTube Shorts are perfect. And that ties in with another platform that you can put videos up to 1 minute long, TikTok. So you immediately got 2 platforms that most people are not using. So yeah, makes perfect sense.
Amazing. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. Combining you and what Pete are doing, I think yeah. So I'm trying to, just for context, I'm trying to get Adam on board. I'm trying to throw money at him, and he's like, no, I don't want your money. I'm like, take my money, damn it. Pimp me up, please.
It's in your email. I did for you last night.
Awesome.
I've sent you. I'm sending you. But yeah, it's just the point of a little business that came from actually just going, I'm really frustrated with watching this testimonial that's like 9 minutes long, and 90% of it I don't care about. I just want the bit that interests me.
That's so true.
And it's just that.
And yeah, it's like whenever you're trying to learn something new, like yesterday I had some issues with Pancake Swap, like a crypto thing. And like, there's so many YouTube videos out there, and I don't know if I don't think I'm the exception. I was like skipping the first like 25% of the video, because every video these days is, hey, blah, blah, stuff I don't care about. I just want what is the juicy meat. So it'll be interesting to see what Pete thinks. I'm thinking like these days, people should just get straight to the point. No intro, straight to the point. And if they still care who you are, what you do, then talk about yourself afterwards. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Adam?
Yeah, so what happened? There's actually quite a lot of parody videos out there of this, or piss take, I don't really know what the right term is, because the way YouTube did do it, and as Pete was describing, as longer videos get rewarded better with respect to, it's not about subscribers, it's about watch time and views, watch time more specifically when you get into granular detail. So what's happening is you were getting these people who were doing YouTube videos on like, you know, how to whatever, do like, you know, version 1 to version 2 Pancake Swap or whatever, right? 2 minute video is not useful for monetization, because you're in play video ads. How many can you get in there? You know, probably one if you're lucky. So what's happening is you're going, first 9 minutes of the video is, here's what I'm going to tell you, blah, 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 blah. Almost like the news. And then it's like, after 9 minutes, let's get straight into the video right now and check, you know. So that's what's been going on. So it's that, basically. It's just gaming the algorithm. It's just usual stuff that will happen. Opportunism.
Nice. Awesome. Thanks, mate. Right. Oh, just so on YouTube, so I haven't neglected YouTube at the moment. I don't know if it's Aid or Arday. I'm so sorry. It says you had some messages retracted, and they were your successors, and I didn't get round to it. Was it too personal, or can you share it again? But yeah, I'll just wait. Right, I'll wait the 3 years lag that YouTube has. So, right, yeah, Pete Bennett's got to go. He said he's put his Facebook, Pete Bennett UK. Oh, yeah, so I'm scrolling up from ages ago. Adam, we have zero profit. HMRC enters the chat. Awesome. I'm just scrolling down the Zoom chat. Sorry. Whereabouts in Lyme Regis? Pete, he's gone. Cameron, would love to share some bits from my journey. Yeah, mate, you still here? Yes, you are. Do you have a mic and preferably a video or a camera? No, going 3, 2, 1. No. Okay, Sam, do you have your mic? Because you have an awesome story.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hey. So yeah, Whenever I think of Sam, I always think of that story. You said how you used to cook for Natalie Imbruglia.
Oh. Yeah, she's one of many I've cooked for.
Amazing. Yeah. So what is your bankruptcy story? That really intrigues me.
So working in London, I'm a private nutritional chef. So I worked for a lot of celebrities in London when I lived in London. And I decided to up sticks and move to Bristol. And obviously, I didn't think that through. I wanted to take the kids out of London, so I didn't think it through that all my clients are still in London. So I was going back to London like all the time. And so I thought, I had this like little idea germinating in my head, and I thought, well, now I'm in Bristol, I can probably do this. So the idea was to have, because I used to do a lot of training also in businesses and having to hire like cooking schools. So what I did was I bought a derelict building for it literally was derelict. I mean, if you look on my business Facebook page, there's some pictures of how derelict it was. And so I bought this building for 200 grand and literally rebuilt the whole thing. So the bottom was like a cafe, like a sort of Melbourne inspired cafe. So we had, and everything was organic and like really unusual kind of meals, brunchy type things. And then upstairs was a cooking school. So did all this, but when we did the refit, half of the building fell down. So it added 40 grand onto my building costs, so it went from 80 to 120. So I was out of pocket. So then I had to scramble around and get a commercial loan. And obviously you can imagine how expensive it is getting all these loans and stuff like that. But I had to kind of keep going forward because there was no way back. So I kept going forwards and then managed to get a loan secured, got the building finished, did a big opening and everything was great. We've had 5-star reviews and stuff like that. But cash flow, I was absolutely buggered. And I literally came grinding to a halt. And my partner left me a week before we opened. So I had 2 young kids, a busy restaurant, a busy cooking school, and things were going pear-shaped. And I had the receipt, like my accountant came in for a meeting. She goes, "You need to sort this out because you're just getting worse and worse and worse." So she came in with 2, what do you call them? Like receiving guys that help you kind of liquidize your business type thing. And they basically told me that I needed to shut the cafe immediately because that was what was hemorrhaging money. So I gave all the staff a week's notice that day and shut the cafe. But what I did was I opened the place for private venues, for private functions, and that really took off. So the money was so bad, I had to give up my home. So me and the kids lived upstairs in the loft in one room for nearly a year.
How old were the kids at the time?
One was 8 and one was 9, a year apart. So I was on my own up in this loft with my cat and the kids. And which was weird because it was actually beneficial in the end because I could work downstairs in the business. So, you know, they were upstairs. Our front room was the cooking school. And we were up in the loft. So we lived like that for a while, and I managed to dig myself out of the grave that I'd created. And then I decided to rent because I couldn't keep living in that space. So I rented a house. I managed to get enough to rent a house. And because I didn't have an income and I was on my own and all this sort of stuff, I had to pay for a whole year upfront rent. So I had to get a loan to get a whole year upfront rent. Anyway, the end of the story is I own the building, and now I have some really nice guys downstairs. They rented the whole of the downstairs, bought all the kitchen equipment and stuff like that. So I got all the money back that I spent refurbishing the downstairs. So that all came back to me. Then lockdown happened, but I managed to rent the upstairs. So now the building is now generating enough income to cover all the costs. I'm debt free and an income for me. And now but the thing is that's different about me is because I'm not just a landlady, because I've got loads of catering experience. I've opened up restaurants and stuff like that. I kind of help the two people I have in the business. I help them with various aspects of marketing and stuff like that. So we're kind of like a little family. And but it's inspired me I want to buy another commercial business for the sole use of hospitality. So I'm hoping that I'd like to really buy next door. So the moral of the story is I've managed to drag myself out of near bankruptcy, and I've dragged my kids around, but I've bought my own home now. I have the building, I have it all rented out, and I realized I don't want to have a restaurant. And also I'm doing my private nutritional chef business. I mean, it's not running now, but when I handed over the keys to the cookhouse, I could take up that business again, so which is lucrative.
Amazing.
So that's what I did.
That's good. You're playing Monopoly. Get the house next door.
It was tough, but it's all paid off in the end, and now I'm kind of like, okay.
Amazing. So how old are your kids now?
My kids, one's 11 and one's just coming up to 10.
Wow, so you did all that in a pretty short time frame then.
Yeah, so I bought the building in 2017, and now everything's like running okay. And I actually just paid some corporation tax this year, so I'm back in profit from literally. I was told that I had to close and nearly went bankrupt.
Nuts.
I think living in the space and being able to work while the kids were upstairs, which saved on childcare costs, that literally kind of saved me. So that's what I had to do. So that's what I did. And but now we're out of the mess and even making profit.
That's so cool. In fact, you've just reminded me of something a little bit controversial. So first of all, thanks, Sam. That's awesome. Thank you. So Sam's story has actually reminded me of something which I was thinking about the other day, and it's a little bit controversial. But if you, how do I say this? Okay, so if you are young and single and you're on your money journey, and let's say you're okay. This little tip is only for a very small minority here, but I've got a whole bunch of friends, and I analyze everyone I know. Just because I treat everything as data. So I've got friends that that have done well with families, friends that have done well without families, friends, but yada yada yada. And there's a little trait that I have seen amongst my seriously wealthy friends. And the trait here is that they were so annoyingly, they're all blokes. I don't have many girl mates anymore. It's weird that I had loads of girl mates when I was single, and then I got married, etc. I now have 0 girl mates. But anyway, but talking about my seriously wealthy mates, they were all single blokes for the most part of their lives. Until I'm thinking of one guy in particular who I guess is the epitome of where this sort of thought process came from. Got out of an abusive relationship, as in he was being abused. He was like 22 years old, set up in business. He didn't have much cash, and then he rent out a unit because he was doing I can't remember what he was doing back then, but it was B2B, so it was business to business. So he had a unit in some industrial estate, and he lived in like. He called it the second office, which is actually his bedroom. It was literally just like a single mattress in this like broom cupboard, basically. Had a sink and a toilet. Like the toilet was next to his mattress. And he was single until he was about 35 years old. But the thing is, because he didn't have a girlfriend, because he didn't have kids and having to buy a house to settle down, all that sort of not bullshit, but stuff that comes with the family, etc. He wasn't. They're big anchors. They're monetary anchors. Although I love it, I wouldn't change it I wouldn't change my situation ever. Like I love my kids to bits, etc. But if you are well, not well, I guess he was obsessed with making it. So if you are single and obsessed with, getting on your financial feet, so to speak, it's best not to get monetary anchors, which is what kids are, husbands and wives, etc., and all the flashy cars. And he lived in a van, or no, as in he had a van for the best, first 10 years of his business career. He didn't have anything flashy. He literally lived in his unit. He was living rent-free, basically, because he was living in his room cupboard. His transportation was the van that he needed to haul his stuff around. And he just beasted it. And I thought, oh, that's awesome. And then I look at some of the other sort of wealthy mates I've got. Annoyingly, a lot of my wealthy mates, they don't want to come on the Zoom chat, which is interesting. So there's a weird correlation there. I don't know if it's causation or correlation, but at the moment, all I can say is a weird correlation. But yeah, just being single helps you get up that financial journey a lot faster. But what I'm saying is don't quit your family, etc. Don't do that. I'm just saying, yeah. And obviously money isn't everything. So yes, he missed out on, 15 years of dating and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, I just thought it was an interesting thing, living in your business premises, which is a way forward. If I was single and had to start again, I would literally, I'd set up probably, I'd live in my business unit, and wouldn't need to spend money on a bigger house for the kids, blah, blah, blah. So cool. Oh man, there's so many stuff here. Oh man, this is an hour. I've got the weird, man, I have to go soon. Right, I'm just going to quickly, we're going to start tailing this off. The next live chat, I don't know what I've got in my calendar. I know I'm interviewing someone. Wait, what's happening? So Stuart, the guy who sold his dental practice, that's on Tuesday. On Monday, with nothing planned. So we're going to do this again, folks. I much prefer this format of people sharing their biz stories, because I don't know about you, I've learned a lot today. I've learned a whole bunch of stuff from Pete, from Gaz, from Sam. Like every story that we've heard today has had some very good learning points, very good learning points. No matter what position you're in or stage you're in, I've picked up some awesome nuggets. So for those that have shared your story today, awesome. So I'm going to quickly read through the chat. So Stuart, I've been working with my wife setting up a well-being resource for over 40s. This stems from both our parents suffering in older age and passing away in a very distressing way. Our aim is to prevent other people from having to endure the same fate and to empower people to have amazing health after 40. We have had the opportunity for the first time to build our business from home, which is based my book, which finally recorded onto audio last year. Stuart Roberts, that's awesome, mate. Thank you. I'm not sure if he's still here, but yeah, the recording's here. Right. Rachel, don't have a camera or mic, unfortunately. On Monday, Rachel, hop onto Zoom on your phone and then you can share your story. That'll be awesome. Adam said, great story, Sam, to be applauded. I agree. You're a fighter, Sam. Rachel said, I agree. The Bristol Cookhouse, if anyone is, what's the URL? I'll just Google the Bristol Cookhouse. The Bristol Cookhouse.
I've put it underneath.
In fact, I'm just going to see what happens on Google. TripAdvisor. Does it have its own URL? Is it just a Facebook thingy? In fact,
yes, it's got. There is a website, but the Facebook has got more information. Yeah, because I've wrapped it up to the website.
Sweet. The Bristol Cookhouse, Dining Club and Food Studio. Kanjan. Is that it? The Kanjan?
Well, no, that's who I sold the downstairs to. So the downstairs, it used to be if you look at down, it used to be the Bristol Cookhouse. Now it's Kanjan. Those are the guys who I sold downstairs, and that's the girl that's upstairs, and that's me. That's my stuff. That's when I had it open.
That's not you there, is it?
No, that's not me. Yeah, no, that's not me. But if you look down, you can see me. And
I see. Cool, amazing. Oh, it's making me hungry. I haven't had.
So that's the classes that I did.
Ah, nice. Wow, they look yummy. Awesome. Sweet. Let's unshare. Let's carry on reading through the Zoom. Bristol Cookhouse, awesome story. Chris, really interesting hearing everyone's stories. Cheers today. Yep. Question on property, Simon. I'm so sorry. We're gonna have to end this for. So I'll read out what you said here. Cameron said you mentioned you're not interested in property. Okay. There's a lot of context why I'm not interested in property, but now's not the time. However, I've been steadily growing my portfolio from single lets, vanilla buy-to-lets, to now doing commercial conversion, where I take mixed use / commercial properties and turn them into flats and ensuite rooms, which add great end value and yield due to the additional rooms, subject to planning. My background as a quantity surveyor really helps. Cool. I now earn net 10K per month from my property portfolio after 5 years, and it's very hands off. That is awesome. So, Cameron, are you still here? No, he's not. Oh yeah, you are, mate. Hands off. That is awesome. Question is, I hope to leverage my knowledge in estimating and managing construction projects, and my aim is to sell the portfolio once I build more conversion projects. Amazing, mate. That is really cool. Very good. As I said, every business works. It's all about execution, and everyone has different criteria of what they want and context. So no, okay. So your question was aim to sell the portfolio once I build more conversion projects. How to do that? I am not sure. I guess if it's all in a limited company, then the case of selling that is what's the revenue, what's the profit. If it's all hands off, that's great. So you're going to get a higher exit multiple. You've also got property within that business, I'm assuming. And so, I mean, that's 50-50. Some people like businesses, properties in a business when they buy, some don't. But yeah, but really just, I'm not sure. I need more details. But so what do you mean by consulting? Oh, so leverage your construction knowledge by consulting. Yeah, exactly. So if you've got, if you've done it, if you've got your business, you've got your, 10K a month coming in, etc. You've walked the walk. So pick a niche, find your niche, and have a dog whistle type message for that niche. You can't just say, hey, I do this. You need to, I help pygmy midgets in Milton Keynes build a property portfolio. I don't know. Mind you, it's probably un-PC. I'm probably not allowed to say that. I don't know. You pick a niche and then do that. I don't even, is pygmy midget a thing? I don't know. Oh man, I'm going to shut up now. Cool. You can't dance on TikTok for property. You can. Literally. Set up a TikTok or a YouTube Shorts thing and go to your properties. Show off your properties in 30-second videos going, hey, I'm sure you could do loads of stuff like that. Obviously, always angling it to whatever your niche market is. So, right, let's call it a day. This has been the best session we've had so far. Thank you. Ironic. The best session we've had is the one where I've done the least talking in. Amazing. So we'll do this again on Monday. Look forward to hearing all of your stories and have a great weekend. I'm about to go and play golf and there's grey clouds everywhere. Right. I'll see you soon.